You know that feeling, right? You wake up from a dream that was so intense, so vivid, that for a few seconds you have to kind of blink yourself back into reality. It's this wild, universal thing we all go through, but it begs a really fascinating question. How on earth does our brain pull it off?
I mean, really think about it. Have you ever woken up from a dream that was just so spectacularly weird that you just lie there wondering, what was my brain even doing last night?
You know the type. The dream starts, and the setting is like instantly familiar. Maybe it's a place you haven't even thought about in years, but your brain just builds it, perfect in every detail. So far, so normal.
And then, bam, all logic just checks out. Suddenly, your boss is there, except he's a golden retriever, and he's giving you your quarterly performance review. But here's the absolute craziest part of it all. In the dream, you don't even question it. A talking dog as a manager? Yep, seems totally legit. You just roll with it, no questions asked.
And that is the mystery we are going to crack wide open. We're going to approach this like a detective story, okay? The crime scene is your mind, and we've got two huge clues that'll show us exactly how your brain becomes the world's greatest illusionist every single night.
So our first clue is all about the parts of the brain that aren't just awake when you dream. No, they're in total overdrive. This is the machinery, the engine, that's building your dream world from scratch.
Okay, so let's meet the dream team. When you're in that deep REM sleep, a few parts of your brain are just firing on all cylinders. You've got your amygdala, that's your emotional core, pumping out fear, joy, all those intense feelings. Then there's your hippocampus, the memory hub, which is busy pulling people, places, and things from your past. And finally, your visual cortex takes all that raw data and weaves it into these super rich, detailed images.
So you see, your brain isn't just playing some random movie for you. It's actually putting your own emotions and your own memories in the director's chair. And that's why the feelings are so powerful and why the whole experience feels like it's really, truly happening to you.
All right, so that explains the intensity, the vividness of dreams. But it still doesn't explain the talking dog, does it? For that, we need our second clue, which is all about the part of the brain that decides to just take the night off.
Let me introduce you to the prefrontal cortex. This is basically the CEO of your brain. It's the sober, rational adult in the room. It handles logic, problem solving, and, most importantly, testing what's real and what's not. It's the part of you that, during the day, would immediately go, hang on a second, docs can't talk.
I love this analogy. When we're dreaming, that bouncer isn't at the door. So every weird idea, every bizarre connection, every nonsensical plot twist just gets waved right on through to the VIP section of your brain. There is literally no one there to stop it.
So, here it is. This is the secret sauce. On one side, you have your emotional, memory, and visual centers throwing an absolute rager of a party. And on the other side, the rational, logical part of your brain is completely passed out on the couch. It's this perfect imbalance that creates the entire illusion.
Okay, so we've got our two clues, a hyperactive creative brain and a sleeping logic center. Now let's put it all together and see how they team up to build these convincing and, often bizarre dream realities.
It's almost like a recipe, you know? First, you crank the brain's emotional and sensory knobs all the way up to max. Step 2, you completely switch off the part that questions anything. Then, you just mix in a few random memories, your old house, your current boss, and voila! You've cooked up a world that feels completely real because the only part of your brain that could tell the difference is fast asleep.
And that's really the answer, right there. A dream feels real because it's a raw, unfiltered story. It's all plot, all emotion, all imagery, with absolutely no one on duty to check for plot holes or continuity errors.
So, why does any of this matter? Well, beyond just being a pretty cool piece of brain trivia, understanding this whole process actually gives us a really profound insight into how we build our reality even when we're awake.
Because think about it. What you're perceiving as reality right now is also being constructed by your brain. It's taking in information and interpreting it using memory and emotion. Dreams just show us what happens when you take one of the key players, logic, out of the game. It's like a natural experiment that your brain runs every single night. It shows us, plain as day, that our sense of reality is a team effort between different brain systems. It shows us that without our rational prefrontal cortex on the job, our world would be a wild, emotional, and totally nonsensical place. Dreams kind of remind us that what we call reality is a very carefully managed illusion. And that's the thought I really want to leave you with.
If your mind is powerful enough to create a totally immersive world from just memory and emotion while you sleep, it really makes you think, doesn't it? What are the building blocks of the reality you're in right now? And how much of it is also just a story we're telling ourselves?